Thanks, Chris.
Guaneston half a day. We have two commission meetings today. We will begin with the Guam Hybrid Land Use Commission first, followed by the regular Guam Land Use Commission meeting. I'd like to call to order the regular meeting of the Guam Hybrid Land Use Commission for Thursday, June 23rd, 2020. The time is 1:40 p.m. Present today are myself, Chairperson Anita Henriquez, Commissioner Leilani Flores, Commissioner Nonito Blas, Mayor Jesse Alec, PD, Vice Mayor of Paget, Christopher Farron, Executive Secretary, Mr. Joseph Borja, our Guam Chief Planner, Ms. Celine Cruz, and planning staff. Okay. Excused for today are the Vice Chairman, Art Chan, Legal Counsel Nick Tuff, and Commissioner Brian Otero. We have a quorum, so we can proceed with today's meeting. The meeting is being live streamed on YouTube at the Guam Department of Land Management's channel. Okay. There are no minutes for approval today, so we will proceed with the next item on the agenda. Under old or unfinished business, there are no old or unfinished business before the commission today. The next item on the agenda is new business. And before we move on to the next item on the agenda, I would like to request that those who wish to provide public testimony, that you sign up in the chat feature of this Zoom by indicating your name and that you wish to provide testimony. Before us this afternoon, under new business, is a conditional use application, application number 2020-01. The applicant, Guam Power Authority, represented by TG Engineers, PC, is requesting for a conditional use permit to allow for the construction and operation of the new APRA 115 kV substation expansion on a portion of lot 402-2 in the municipality of Santa Rita in an A rural zone. The case planner for this application is Ms. Grace Vergara. I now, before I turn it over, I now turn over the application summary to Chief Planner or Case Planner to read the staff report.
Madam Chair, our case planner, Grace Vergara, will be reading the staff report.
Thank you, Chief, and thank you, Madam Chair. I'll just read my staff report. Application summary. The applicant, Guam Power Authority, represented by TG Engineers PC, requests for a conditional use approval for the proposed construction of the new APRA 115 kV substation expansion on a portion of lot 402-2 in the municipality of Santa Rita in an agricultural or rural zone. The legal authority is Section 61303, Conditional Use of Chapter 61, Zoning Law, Title 21, PCA. The location, the subject lot is adjacent to the existing APRA substation along Route 17 in Cross Island Road. The total lot area is 4,047 square meters or 43,561 square feet or 1 acre. The present zoning of the property is agricultural or rural zone. Field description, the property has been vacant and undeveloped. Based on the master plan, this is undesignated and it's also undesignated under the community design plan. There was no previous commission action on the property. The application was accepted by the Department of Land Management on December 10, 2019, and it was heard by ARC on January 16, 2020. A public hearing was held on February 9, 2022 at 6:01 p.m. at the Santa Rita Senior Citizen Center. There were approximately 7 individuals in attendance, including planning staff, representatives from TG Engineers, which were Mr. Joaquin Flores and Mr. Marvin Aguilar, Santa Rita Mayor's office staff, and attendees from the public. The applicant's representative presented the application and responded to the questions of those present at the public hearing. And a copy of the full public hearing result is attached on the staff report. Discussion and staff analysis. The Department of Land Management was in the process of reviewing the final map for the parceling of Lot 402-2 when this application was accepted. The parceling was intended to sever the exact location and boundary of the proposed new substation. And as a result, the survey map 256 FY 2019 was approved and recorded on July 15, 2020 under document number 948630, and the requested conditional use will be located on Lot 402-2-1. Pursuant to Section 61304B8 of the zoning code as a conditional use in an agricultural zone, and as specified by Section 61303 of the zoning code, is a specific use permitted upon approval by the Commission of the site plan, including but not limited to disposal of sewage, access, parking, structural location, dimensions of building, impact of the proposed use on adjacent land uses, and accompanying covenants that may include performance standards. The Commission may also consider such other elements as may be reasonably related to the health, safety, and general welfare of the community. With this in mind, we provide the following. For the site plan, the proposed site is ideal for a substation facility due to the proximity to the existing upper substation. It is accessible using the existing safe Route 17 or Cross Island Road. A site layout for the proposed project has been developed, showing the proposed substation facility. The site for the substation has been selected based on known data to avoid archaeological sites or environmentally sensitive areas and to meet GPA long-term needs for the facility. The site geometry and site plan for the new substation shows adequate setbacks and clearance to the property boundary. It will be controlled for safety and security with gates at main entrances and chain link security fence around the perimeter. Stormwater runoff flow patterns will be maintained to the extent possible to engineering designs to manage the quality, and flow rates will follow best management practices as well as local and federal regulations. Disposal of sewage. A sanitary sewer force main system is available along Route 17. However, sanitary sewer connection will not be required since this is an unmanned facility. Access to the facility is from Route 17, and it's a 90 feet wide public easement. Parking is not required since it will be unmanned, controlled, and monitored remotely from GPA's island-wide power system dispatch control center. Long-term operations will only involve minimum vehicle entry for periodic maintenance. Structural locations and dimensions of buildings. The proposed new APRA 115 kilovolt substation expansion is necessary to interconnect the new Malolo 60 megawatt solar photovoltaic energy solar system renewable energy facility in Dandan to island-wide power system at APRA substation and at the PD 115 kV GIS substation. In reference to the structural locations, the proposed substation will be located on Lot 402-2-1 with adequate setbacks and clearance to the property. Although it will have a minimal height similar to the existing upper substation, we also note that Title 21 GCA Chapter 61, Section 61402D states that aerials, flagpoles, skylights, steeples, towers, fire or parapet walls, or other similar structures may be erected and maintained above the permitted height limit. Impact of proposed uses on adjacent lands, including health, safety, and general welfare factors. The site is compatible with adjacent land uses as it abuts the existing APRA substation. The intended use does not require any deviation from the law. However, because the present zoning of the property is agriculture zone and the use is permitted as a conditional use of the land, it is required to be subjected before this commission prior to its implementation. If approved and completed, the public health, safety, and welfare will have been adequately addressed. The applicant has cited benefits to health, safety, and general welfare to the community, such as strengthening and making more reliable power systems to the southern part of Guam. It will also help the island of Guam achieve Public Law 29-62 renewable portfolio standard goals of 10% by year 2022. It will accelerate renewable energy implementation at the new Malolo 60 megawatt solar PV-ESS facility before statutory requirement deadlines. It will provide a new transmission system that will ensure solar PV system will minimize abnormal system fluctuations due to the inherent nature of solar PV integration. It will also reduce island residents with their energy bills as it displaces use of fossil fuels and improves air quality for our island. Existing utilities such as water, power, and sewer are available along Route 17 fronting the subject property. However, this is an unmanned facility and will not require any utility services. No pollution or solid waste will be generated on site, and there will be no increase in foot traffic after the construction of the new substation. In our review and analysis of the form and context of this application in reference to the zoning law, as well as petition statements received from the ERC members who have recommended approval with conditions, we conclude that the proposed use is necessary for the health, safety, and general welfare of the community. Therefore, it is our findings that this requested conditional use is in line with the requirements of Section 61303 of the Zoning Code, and we find it proper that it be considered favorably by the Guam Hybrid Land Use Commission. Our recommendation, we recommend approval with conditions as Letter A, that the applicant adhere to ARC conditions and requirements as stipulated under official position statement. And B, if this conditional use permit is granted, the applicant is required to carefully read, understand, and comply with the time limitation condition noted on the first page and acknowledgement agreement at the last page of the notice of action that cites pursuant to Executive Order 96-26, Section 5, applicant must apply for and receive a building or grading permit for the approved GLUC GSPC project within 1 year of the date of recordation of the notice of action. Otherwise, the approval of the project is granted by the Commission shall be null and void. And letter C, any changes to the approved site development plan as a result of ERC permitting agency requirements shall be reflected in an as-built site plan to be submitted to the Guam Chief Planner prior to the issuance of an occupancy permit.
To our commissioners, to our mayors, are there any questions for staff? He's shaking his head. I don't see any hands raised. So we will now proceed with the applicant's representative. I would like to invite the applicant's representative to provide presentation. Please state your name for the record and then proceed.
Thank you, Madam Chair. My name is Joaquin Flores. I represent TG Engineers. Unfortunately, we have a power outage here at the office, so hopefully our backup UPSs can survive this presentation. But if you don't mind, I have a very brief PowerPoint presentation relative to this application, if I'm allowed to share my screen.
Okay, we'll go ahead and arrange for that. You can proceed.
Can you see my presentation on the screen?
Yes.
Does everybody see this presentation?
Yes, you can proceed.
Okay. So again, this is the conditional use application for the APRA 115 kV expansion. Just a little bit of background with regard to the GPA procurement of this project and its endorsement for increased renewable and energy storage in May 2016, GPA issued a bid for renewable energy under the phase 2 RFP. It awarded in 2017 Hanwha Corporation as the lowest bidder for the 2 projects, the 30 megawatts at 6.2 cents a kWh, and the additional 30 megawatts at 6.5 cents, 6.6. The other bidder that was also awarded was KEPCO LGCNS. As you know, it's the Manilao solar facility that has now come online, and it's just about completed with its performance test. That's also 60 megawatts of PV and energy storage at 8.4 cents a kWh. GPA awarded both projects in 27, a total of 120 megawatts for both proponents for this development. The Hanwha project consists of, as I mentioned, 60 megawatts of solar PV and energy storage. The energy storage portion of the project is charged during the daytime hours by the solar farm. And then at night, a portion of that energy is released after sunset to help reduce peak generation by GPA. The project requires a 115 kV substation in Malolo and Dundan, and a new 115 kV transmission line with new steel towers from Dundan to the APRA substation where this expansion is located. The Malolo Dundan substation design is complete, and the new 115 kV substation, the transmission line to APRA is complete, the design, and currently Hanwha is going through building permit to start construction for that phase of work. The new APRA substation expansion is under design and near completion. We expect that to be done by July or August in terms of final design. The transmission portion of APRA to PD will utilize existing steel poles along Route 1, Route 2A, and Route 5, and be upgraded and retrofitted with new wires to support this new solar farm. So overall, the project will consist of 2 substations and about a 17-mile, 115 kV transmission line. Just kind of give you a summary of the actual parcel in question. This was actually a military BRAC return of land to ancestral lands, and then subsequently to the private landowners. It was actually an agricultural zone designated as lot 402-2-1. It's immediately adjacent and abuts the existing APRA substation that will be turned over to GPA from the Navy. It has an ideal location for interconnection because the infrastructure is there and the right-of-way for Route 17 is located. And you can see this is Route 17 here in the Y intersection and Route 5. The existing Navy substation where you see my cursor circulating is the old substation, and the parcel that in question is highlighted in yellow. No emissions, no potable water, no sewer connections are required. Fire protection is minimum. This is an electrical facility that does not require any special firefighting. And traffic is going to be essentially the same, except for during construction when you may see some construction activity or equipment. Just to give you an idea of the location again, it's located at the intersection of Route 17 and Route 5. The property map has since been recorded. This parcel was purchased from the landowners by GPA. It's just over an acre, very slightly, as Grace reported. And as you can see, it does abut the existing Navy GPA substation at APRA. On this plan view, it indicates the layout of the new substation for structures that are being designated for this conditional use, mainly for substation equipment, circuit breakers, and a large transformer that you see where my cursor is circulating. From a profile view, you can see the largest structure on site would be the termination tower for the transmission lines that transitions down to about 15 feet above ground to serve the transformer and the substation. Here you see the view of the transformer as it is connected to the substation structure and its current proposed layout and design. With the land use regulations that are applicable, this is under 2021 GCA real property under the Chapter 61 zoning law. It is conditional use, a request for conditional use because it would utilize an agricultural zone for this special use for a substation, power substation. The potential impact of the proposed use in the adjacent land has been identified. Other elements as may be reasonably related to health safety have been identified and noted in our reports and our application. And we've actually also taken into account any community input relative to the development. The compliance action is for that we've determined. It is verified and certified by DLM as an agricultural zone. DLM's, the hearing that Grace has already reported, it's in your report, it's February 9th. That was our public hearing. There were no concerns that needed to be addressed. Comments were responded to during the public hearing, and in our opinion, seemed to be satisfactory to those who were inquiring. The Santa Rita MPC hearing was also held on June 1st, and that you have in your reports a resolution from Mayor Alvarez in support of the development. Just to give you an idea, we did have a public notice sign that was posted since 2019, and the dates and times for the hearings were changed accordingly for that. And as you can see in the background, this is the existing Navy substation that it will interface to with interconnection. And a portion of this building would be upgraded internally, but there are no building structures associated with the new expansion on the new lot. From a environmental short form impact assessment, no groundwater is affected. Stormwater will be contained on site, treated by Guam EPA approved stormwater requirements. The nearest wellhead is 2,200 feet away, which is outside of the critical impact zone. Marine waters are quite at a distance away, 1.6 miles. No pristine forests, no reef flats are affected. We did conduct a biological survey for the site, and there were no critical habitat animal or plant species that were identified. No wetlands were actually identified. And it's, oops, sorry. And there's a 0.2% chance of floodplain, and no archaeological resources were determined for the site. Although the Guam State Historical Preservation will likely require excavation monitoring as part of the construction permit for this project. The Navy did conduct a finding of suitability to transfer in 1994 in anticipation of transferring the existing APRA substation to GPA, and it documented that there were no evidence of cultural or historical resources. No potable wells at the site were going to be impacted, and there were no contamination such as asbestos or other PCB lead-based paint contaminants that were identified on site. To give you a timeline of the proposed start of construction, although this project has been in the works since 2019, 2018. We anticipate building permits to start the Malolo and the 115 kV transmission line in August. Start of construction after mobilization will begin in September of this year. And we also expect a DPW permit for the APRA substation design that's currently underway and soon to be completed. Most of 2022 would be construction activities, and the anticipated finish date would be on or about May or June of 2024, and a turnover to GPA in fee simple to GPA by August of 2024. And with that, I'm open to any questions from the commission or others.
Thank you very much, Mr. Flores. Before we Thank you very much, Mr. Flores. Before we proceed with opening up to questions by our commissioners, mayor, and vice mayor, I just want to acknowledge the presence of our vice chairman, Mr. Art Chan, who has just joined our meeting. So to our commissioners, Mayor Alec, Vice Mayor Karen, the floor is open to you for questions to Mr. Flores.
Madam Chair, I do not have any questions.
Thank you.
Go ahead.
All right, President.
I don't see any questions from our commissioners or our vice mayor nor our mayor. So I will go ahead and proceed to the next item. The next item is public comment. Just as a reminder, public comment is strictly for the application that is before us. So I know that we do have at least one person who has signed up, Ms. Janelle Guzman. Ms. Guzman, we will pass this on to you when you're ready.
Hi, yes, good afternoon. I do have Mayor Alvarez here with me right now. We were just listening in.
Ms. Guzman, could you please turn your video on?
Oh, I'm so sorry. Hi, good afternoon.
Okay, so we do acknowledge that Mayor Del Alvarez is here with us.
Yeah.
Okay, so Mayor Alvarez, did you have let's see, I know that we're now entertaining public comment. Was the intention for public comment to be made, or you just wanted to acknowledge that you were here?
Just want to acknowledge that I'm here.
Okay, thank you, sir, for joining us. Do we have any other members of the public specific to the application? No. Okay, thank you. I'm going to go ahead and close public comment and move on to the next item. At this time, I will, I would like to open the floor to any member of our commission, including our mayors, our vice mayor. It is the pleasure of the group to make a motion on this application. Anybody? Okay, so the next item is I would go ahead and entertain a motion for action on this application.
Madam Chair, I would like to make a motion, please, to approve the application for conditional use for the Guam Power Authority represented by TG Engineers, application number 2020-01.
Okay. Yes, Mayor Alec, just for clarification, you're making a motion for conditional use. Does this include the conditions as presented?
That is correct.
Okay. A motion is on the floor made by Mayor Alec to approve the conditional use application, subject to conditions. Do I hear a second to this motion?
I second the motion.
Okay, thank you very much, Vice Mayor Farron. The motion has been seconded. Any further discussion on this motion? I don't see any hands raised. We'll go ahead and call for the question. All in favor of approving the motion with a conditional use application subject to conditions, please raise your hand and say aye. Aye.
Aye.
Aye.
All of them. Those opposed to the motion, please signify by saying nay and raising your hand. Vice Mayor Farron, your hand is still raised in support of the motion, so we'll go ahead and take that down. I don't see any opposition, any abstention to the motion. I don't see any abstention. It looks like it is unanimous. The application, the motion pursuant to the application has been approved. Thank you very much. The next item on the agenda under administrative and miscellaneous matters, we have Executive Secretary Borja. Are there any other matters?
Out of the hybrid commission.
Okay, none available. I would now entertain a motion to adjourn our hybrid commission meeting.
Madam Chair, I move to adjourn the Guam Hybrid Commission meeting.
Thank you very much. Motion made by Mayor Alec. Do I hear a second?
I second it.
Seconded by Commissioner Blas. All in favor, say aye. Raise your hand.
Can you hear me?
Yes, we can.
Aye.
Okay. By affirmation, the ayes have it. Today's Guam Hybrid Land Use Commission is adjourned. The time currently is 2:13 p.m. Thank you very much, everyone, for joining us. Excuse me. Okay, we're going to take a short break before we proceed with the next meeting, which is the regular Guam Land Use Commission. We will take a 5-minute break, and we'll see everyone when you return. Thank you. When it's in half a day, I would like to call to order the regular meeting of the Guam Land Use Commission for Thursday, June 23rd, 2022. The time currently is 2:19 p.m. Present today are myself, Chairperson Anita Enriquez, Vice Chairman Art Chan, Commissioner Leilani Flores, Commissioner Nonito Blas, Executive Secretary Joseph Borja, Guam Chief Planner Celine Cruz, and planning staff. We do have a quorum, so we can proceed. Today's meeting is being live streamed on YouTube at the Guam Department of Land Management channel. First item on our agenda is the approval of the minutes of the GLUC regular meeting of Thursday, May 12, 2022. So before the commission, we do have the minutes. Commissioners, you have had the opportunity to review these minutes, and I am ready to entertain a motion for action.
I'd like to make a motion to approve the minutes from Thursday, May 12th, 2022.
Thank you very much. Motion made by Commissioner Flores. Do I hear a second?
I second that motion.
Thank you very much, Commissioner Blas. Any discussion, any errors or omissions on the minutes?
I have
There
none.
being none, okay, there being none, I'll go ahead and entertain motion. All in favor of saying, all in favor of approving the minutes, please signify by raising your hand and saying aye.
Aye.
It looks like the ayes have it. It's unanimous. The minutes of May 12, 2022 are approved. Okay, there are no old or unfinished business. The next item on the agenda is new business. So we have before us an application for a zone change, application number 2021-17. The applicant, TG Engineers PC, is requesting for a zone change from A rural to C commercial zone to enable the highest and best use of the property, an existing one-story building for commercial mixed-use activities on lot 2066-REM-1 in Tejan in the municipality of Mongmong, Totu, Maiti. The case planner for this application is Mr. Frank Titano. I would now turn the floor over to Chief Planner Cruz or Mr. Titano to read the staff report.
Madam Chair, I'll be reading the staff report on behalf of Tanya.
Thank you.
This is a staff report dated June 15, 2022. The applicant, TG Engineers, is requesting approval of a zone change from A rural to C commercial zone to enable the highest and best use of the property and existing one-story building for mixed-use commercial activities on lot 2066-REM-1 in the municipality of Mongmong, Totu, Maiti. The legal authority is section 61630 to 61638, changes of zone of chapter 61, the zoning law, title 21, Guam Code annotated. The subject lot is located along the Tejan Parkway about 1,300 feet or a quarter mile from the junction of the Tejan Parkway and Purple Heart Memorial Highway on Route 8. The lot area is 11,225 square meters or 120,763 square feet. The present zoning is A rural zone. The site is presently occupied by the former Naval Air Station Commissary Building, presently housing the professional office of the applicant, TG Engineers. Power, water, and public sewer are existing, and the site's open space contains a paved access, parking area, and a maintained open yard area. The master plan has this area as undesignated, and the community design plan has this area also undesignated. There was no previous commission action. This application was accepted on October 25th, 2021, heard by the Application Review Committee on November 18, 2021, and a public hearing was held on April 5th, 2022, and is attached, the full public hearing minutes as attachment A to the staff report. Our staff analysis. The applicant's request is for a zone change approval and pursuant to section 61630 of chapter 61, where it states the commission may, with the approval of the governor, change the zones established under this chapter whenever it finds that the public necessity, convenience, and general welfare justify such action. The applicant's response to section 61630 for the zone change, the applicant submits the following. The subject property and building are fronting the Teton Parkway. The zone change to C, commercial, for this prime parkway location is justified for public necessity, public convenience, and general welfare through serving the combination of parkway traffic and the West Teton and surrounding neighborhoods. Lot 2066-REM-1 was part of the U.S. military lands assets obtained in the early 1950s through eminent domain. After nearly 50 years in operation, the Naval Air Station Guam was shut down as a result of base realignment and closure efforts. The subject lot, along with other surrounding properties in Teton proper, was deemed federal excess land, with certain properties returned to original land owners and their heirs. In general, upon return, these lands lacked provisions to align such lands with current land use and zoning regulations, since Teton's use as a military airfield installation predated the adoption and application of current land use and zoning in Guam, and thus were considered inconsistent with the zoning code of Guam. Such properties, to include lot 2066-REM-1, remained without a zone designation for several years until the passage of Public Law 31-198, which was promulgated on March 30th, 2012. The law specifically intended to align returned federal excess property with current land use and zoning regulations, assigning the least restrictive zone designation of A, rural, agricultural, and allowing owners of such lands to participate in the process of entitlement, such as this appropriate request for a zone change to C, commercial. The existing building is currently being used for professional office space and solely houses TG Engineers PC operational activities. Based on as-built drawings, the proposed zone change to C is appropriate and follows the original and historical use of the facility and the property. The existing building that sits on lot 2066-REM-1 was originally constructed by the United States Navy in 1980 as a new Naval Air Station commissary. Placed to conveniently serve Navy personnel and their dependents, the building included a grocery store, a kitchen and delicatessen, beauty shop, and support facilities. Thus, the history of the building and its intended use to serve a military residential community is significant, since the request for a zone change to commercial presents an opportunity to again allow the use of the property and building to now serve the general public and surrounding community. In this respect, with the entitlement of a change to C, commercial, the strategically located property may be used for professional offices, retail stores, restaurant establishments, and small businesses that will serve the West Teton and surrounding Route 8 residential neighborhoods. The former Naval Air Station officer housing community was designed and built with duplex housing units, expansive green space, wide roads for roadside parallel parking, sidewalks, and full utility services. The size of the West Teton community is ideal to continue expanding its desirable, safe, central Guam community. Presently, there is no commercial zone property within the community area where lot 2066-REM-1 is located. If property is zoned to accommodate commercial activities, such can be expanded to businesses with a target patronage from the growing West Teton residential community, translating to a safe commute between homes and such businesses, as opposed to always utilizing businesses that occur away and opposite of Route 8 and beyond. Consequently, public necessity, public convenience, and general safety is achieved for the community. Outwardly, Lot 2066-U-1 as a new C-zone commercial property will enable local businesses to have a prime central location and provide services to Parkway traffic driving in and out of central Guam, and to provide services to the adjacent expanding West Teton residential neighborhood. Again, a zone change to C for this prime Parkway location is justified for public necessity, public convenience, and general welfare through serving the combination of Parkway traffic and the West Teton and surrounding neighborhoods. From a public safety perspective, Lot 2066-REM-1 as a C zone can serve as a buffer between a high traffic corridor and residential areas abutting the subject property. Intended to accommodate high traffic volume, the Teton Parkway Phase 1 road project constructed the new signalized intersection at the Cars Plus and J&G Plaza location on Route 8 and safely connected the Route 8 arterial with East Sunset Drive, which extends to GIAA and Route 10A. The Teton Parkway Phase 2 road project is currently being designed and when constructed will continue a 5-lane parkway configuration along GIAA property and realign to cut down the Tumining Cliff line and create a major central Guam 4-way intersection with Route 10A at the Home Depot entrance. A commercial property fronting the parkway is justified and needed to support traffic in the nearby residential community. It is noted the property location at the north end of the West Teton residential community and also fronting West Sunset Boulevard, which is the main access to the neighborhood, provides controlled and safe traffic ingress and egress to keep traffic, pedestrians, and residents safe. Further noted, the businesses offering services will also provide for increasing employment opportunities in the West Teton community as part of the MTM municipality area. The higher employment and business revenue will continue to increase property values and enhance the community. The combination of all benefits confirms the zone change to C commercial will fulfill and justify public necessity, public convenience, and general welfare. In our analysis, considering that the context of the application provides justification that the public necessity, convenience, and general welfare supports a positive action on the zone change request, that the subject zone change request received no objection position statement from the ARC members, that the zone change for future commercial use of the property is consistent with the original and present use of the property and will be a vital element of the functional growth of the community. Additionally, the results of the community public hearing was positive, and that as a result of the MTM Municipal Planning Council meetings on May 18, 2022 and June 1, 2022, Resolution 2022-01 in support of the zone change was adopted by the MTM MPC on June 1, 2022. We find the above and the context of the application provides justification that the public necessity, convenience, and general welfare supports a positive action on the zone change request. And finally, Madam Chair, our recommendation is planning staff recommends approval subject to the ARC permitting agency's position statements.
Suzy Mossy, Chief Planner Cruz. To our commissioners, do you have any questions for Chief Planner Cruz?
I have no questions.
No questions here.
I don't see
No questions.
no questions. Okay, thank you. There are no questions for the applicant. We'll go ahead and proceed with the applicant or the applicant's representative for his or her presentation.
Off a day, Madam Chair and Commissioners, my name is Tor Goodmanson. I'm the president of TG Engineers. Excuse me, and we're the owner of the property. We have a presentation, should be getting put up.
We have it on the screen whenever you're ready.
Okay. So just to note again, this is a request for a change of zone from the existing A agricultural zone to C commercial. Next slide. The property location is adjacent to the Tejan Parkway roadway and is explained by the chief planner. It is the former Naval Air Station commissary and shopette building, and it's located about a quarter mile northbound from the intersection of Route 8 and the Tejan Parkway roadway. Next slide. Here's a photograph, maybe dating back to the 1980s timeframe when it was the commissary and shopette facility. It served the surrounding naval base housing community. It provided commercial services to that military community. And now under our private ownership, the intent beyond our professional office there is to expand with other commercial activities. And that has led up to our request for the zone change. Next slide. We do have all available infrastructure. This is the same aerial view of the property. And so we have water, power, public wastewater disposal, paved roads on 3 sides, and the paved parking area on site around the building. Next slide. This is the subdivision survey map, and just briefly explaining the progression of ownership. The property was returned to excess federal land and returned to the estate of Bernardo Punzalon. It was then acquired by Eagle Leasing under a quitclaim deed, I believe in 2007. And then we acquired it, TG Engineers, in 2016 under a warranty deed. Next slide. Current as-built on the property, the same existing commissary building is there, approximately 11,700 square feet, and has the parking area with exterior lighting, paved egress, ingress, and street lights on the perimeter lighting around the property, as well as some landscaping in the immediate area of the parking lot. Next slide. Justification. Further to what the chief planner has said, under public necessity, residential community will continue to expand with the projected single family and multifamily dwelling uses in the West Tejan residential area, and the services that can be provided with the commercial zone should support and be available to support single family and multifamily dwellings, as well as growing commercial district enhanced by the expansion of the Tejan Parkway Road. For convenience is defined in this case to promote safe access to a commercial outlet that can provide needed goods and services to the community. Safe access meaning that the property is on the same side of the Tejan Parkway Road, the north side, as the housing area, and so it doesn't require crossing or access to the parkway to go to the commercial facilities at the property. And general welfare is defined to assess the cumulative positive effects of the change of zone, the fully commercialized area to meet the intent of the Tejan Parkway area and support the surrounding residential community, to serve as a physical buffer between airport industrial uses and high traffic road and the bedroom community, and potential for further investment in capital improvements to the area. Next slide. The agricultural impact statement provided, the Director of Agriculture noted diminished value of agricultural resources. The zone change does not anticipate any adverse conservation or agricultural effects and recommends encouraging by maintaining open areas for seasonal migratory bird habitat. Next slide. This is our notice to rezone sign with all the meeting date information on site. Next slide. And the status and history of the zone change application. And next slide. And that concludes the presentation. So any questions, we're available.
Thank you very much, Mr. Goodmanson. I now turn the floor over to our commissioners to see if you have any questions for the applicant.
I have no question.
No questions here. No questions here.
Thank
No
you.
questions.
No questions. I don't have any questions at this time. So we'll move on to the next item. I will be opening up for public comment. Public comment specific to this application. Do we have anyone signed up for that? None? Okay. Thank you very much. I will go ahead and close the public comment period and move on. Let's see. I am ready to entertain a motion on this application from our commissioners.
Alani.
I'd like to make a motion to approve application number 2021-17 for applicant TG Engineers PC for a zone change from A rural to C zone commercial to enable the highest and best use of the property, okay, on lot 2066 REM-1 TZN in the municipality of Mong Totu Maisi. With the recommendations made on the staff report.
Thank you very much, Commissioner Flores. The motion has been presented on the floor. Do I hear a second to this motion?
I would like to make a second to that motion.
Seconded by Vice Chairman Chan. Okay. All in favor of approving the motion, please signify by saying aye and raising your hand.
Aye.
Okay.
Aye.
Thank you very much. It is unanimous. The motion for application 2021-17 is approved. Thank you very much. We now move on to administrative and miscellaneous matters. There is a formal complaint before the commission today regarding the Dedido firing range. I would like to turn it over to Executive Secretary, Mr. Borja, for presentation.
Madam Chair, the Executive Secretary transmits its staff report on the Tanya Chowker's complaint. The complaint and the report are now public records, and anyone who requests a copy will be provided a copy either by email or a hard copy. That includes the complaint and the report. Madam Chair, this is a complicated issue of a 39-year-old notice of action. And my recommendation is for the commissioners to read the 3-page report and put on discussion at the next meeting. It is quite complicated. And as stated earlier, these now become public records available to anyone for a request. But in fairness to the commissioners, this report is just being transmitted to you. And I would like the commissioners to have time to read it and possibly discuss it at the next meeting.
Ms. Masi, thank you very much, Mr. Borja. On behalf of the commission, I would go ahead and formally receive so that the commissioners will have ample time to review before our next scheduled meeting. Commissioners, any questions for Mr. Borja?
It's available.
Okay.
No questions.
Can I
Vice
ask a
Chairman
question?
Chan?
Yeah, would there be some kind of a walkthrough to that area so that we could take a look and familiarize ourselves with what the problem is with the neighborhood?
So we will present that here and we will,
I would recommend that we read the report and then at the next meeting, the commissioners can decide if they want to do that.
Madam
Of course, you're
Commissioner,
available at any time to go as a private citizen up to the, there's no prohibition against going up there. But insofar as commission action, I would put that off until we read the report and the report is presented to the public and anyone who may be interested in.
Okay.
Mr. Sablan,
thank you very much. Do we entertain?
yes, a question. So,
Okay, so I see Mr. Sablon, you have your hand up.
Yes, ma'am. Can I just make a request via this hearing for a copy of the official complaint? I've made several requests via the director's office, and I still have not received a copy of the formal complaint. I'm sorry. By the way, I'm the president CEO of the Sportsland Shooting Range.
Okay, Mr. Sablon, that's acknowledged. A copy will be furnished to you. Thank you.
Appreciate
would
that.
you like a copy of the report?
Sure.
It's public record now that I
Yes.
give it.
Okay. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Mr. Borja, are there any other announcements or administrative miscellaneous matters before the commission today?
We received our reporting system and hopefully before maybe the second meeting after this, we might be up in full operation with reporting within the conference room, and we'll try as much as possible to get it going by the next meeting, and probably the next meeting, like I said, hopefully will be a face-to-face meeting. And if our recording system is set up by then, we intend to do that.
Thank you. And when is our next regular meeting of the Guam Land Use Commission?
It is tentatively July 14th.
Okay, so tentatively, we have our next regular meeting of the Guam Land Use Commission scheduled July 14th of 2022. Okay. If there are no further business for the commission, I am ready to entertain a motion to adjourn today's meeting.
I'd like to make a motion to adjourn today's meeting.
Thank you very much, Commissioner Flores. Motion made to adjourn.
Seconded.
Okay, thank you, Vice Chairman Chan, and seconded. All in favor, please signify by saying aye, raising your hand. Aye.
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 Okay, thank you very much. Sujus Masi to all of you for attending this afternoon's meeting. It is now 2:47. This meeting of June 23rd, 2022 of the Guam Land Use Commission is officially adjourned. Thank you very much.
Audio.